Some lower body foam rolling. So I'm going to have you just sit right down on that foam roller. There you go. And go ahead and come right up so you're sitting right on there. And I'm going to have you cross one foot on top of your knee. There you go. And then I'll have you lean in that direction. Right, so you're tipped over. So just that left side is on the roller. And I'm going to have you roll back and forth from the top of your glute back down to the bottom. There you go. And this is how you roll out and loosen the glute muscle. And any tight spots that you find in there, you would want to sit on, starting for about 10 seconds, and just let the pressure rest directly on that tight spot. There you go. And if you just take your knee and tip it farther toward the floor, that'll hit your piriformis muscle. And then go ahead and just continue that motion rolling back and forth. Getting all your weight to rest directly onto that roller, taking big, slow, deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. There you go. So I'll have you sit back upright on there and do the same thing on the other side. So cross the other foot over the opposite knee, lean over that direction, and then roll out the glute first. There you go. Going from the top of your waist down to the bottom of your glute. Good. And then tipping that knee farther toward the floor. Hitting that piriformis muscle on the other side. Just loosening those muscles right up around the glute and hip. Good. And relax. Okay, now I'm going to have you roll your IT band or the outside of your leg. So what I'm going to have you do is lay on your side on that roller. Stack your feet right on top of each other. Bring your hands in front to support yourself. Now bring your top foot out to set on the floor right in front of here. So you have 3 points of contact with the floor supporting yourself. Now what I'm going to have you do, rest your weight on the roller. Roll all the way down the outside of your leg to the top of your knee and then back into the hip, into that starting position. There you go. And then right back into that starting position, using your foot and your hands to adjust the weight as you need, getting more or less body weight as you can tolerate that tenderness. And taking those big, deep breaths. There you go. Resting on any tight spots you may find in the length of that muscle. Just really trying to relax that muscle as you roll through it. There you go. And I'll have you flip over to the other side. Starting on your hip. Both hands on that side, foot over the front. Good. And starting in this starting position, rolling down to the top of the knee. Remembering never to go on to the knee joint itself. Just right to the top of it and then right back up into the hip. Rolling back and forth through the IT band or the outside of your leg. And relax. Now I'm going to have you roll out the front of your leg or your quad. So what I'm going to have you do is start with just the edge of that foam roller right in the crease of your hip. And you're going to lay down face down with the edge of that foam roller right in your hip there. Your other leg can be up to the side, supporting yourself there. And what you're going to do is pull yourself all the way down the front of your leg to the top of your knee, rolling all the way down. and then back up into the crease of your hip. We don't want to go too high onto the pelvis bone. We just want to go back up into the crease of the hip and then all the way back down to the top of the knee, remembering to stay off that knee joint. And then one thing you can do with your foot on this leg as you roll is tilt it to the inside and hit that muscle from a different angle. And roll it up and back. And then tilt that foot to the outside, hitting that muscle from another angle. Rolling all the way up and back. Remembering to find those tight spots, those little knots and ropes, and rest on them for just a second. There you go. And go ahead and roll. Okay. Now I'm going to have you roll your adductor, or the inside of your leg. So go ahead and turn that foam roller vertically. You're going to place one knee up on that roller. And what I'm going to have you do is kick your other leg straight back behind you and let this knee roll out to the side. So you're ending up face down with that roller on the inside of your leg. Now you're going to roll that roller all the way up as close to the inside of your body as you can get, and then right back out to the end of the knee. There you go. Trying to get as much of your weight resting on that roller as you can get. And there you go. Just remembering to get as close up into your body as you can get, and then all the way back out to the knee. And to hit this muscle from a slightly different angle, what I'll have you do is just tilt that foot up. Good, there you go. Then you go ahead and bend that knee again. And so what you're going to do is keep that other foot. You can have your knee on the floor. You can rest your side on the floor and have those hands on the floor supporting yourself and just trying to get all of your weight resting there. Supporting yourself with your elbows and hands and your foot and your knee on the other side. Just letting yourself roll back and forth. There you go. All right. So what I'm going to have you do now is sit right back on that foam roller. You're going to roll your lower back out. When we roll the lower back, we always want to keep it round. So reach underneath your legs and grab the back of your legs. And what you're going to do is start rolling forward till you feel like you're about to fall off, and then reach your hands back behind you and support yourself on the ground. So I'm going to have you just stay on your lower back here. Okay. So go ahead and have your hands right back here. There you go. Rolling from the top of your hips down about halfway down your back. There you go. And back up to your hips. There you go. Supporting yourself with your hands and your feet here. Going from your waist to about the middle of your back. And what you can do is just slightly tip your knees to one side so you have a little more weight on one side of your lower back than the other. And just roll that side out a few times. Remembering to keep your hips up off the ground and the weight centered over the roller, and then tip your knees back the other direction to hit that other side. There you go. Then you can straighten your knees out and just hit that lower back there. All right, so from that middle of your back position, what I'm going to have you do is lift your hips up off the ground, take your hands and cross them in front of you so your elbows are right over top of each other, and keeping your hips nice and high, you're going to roll from the middle of your back down to the base of your neck, remembering to keep your elbows right over top of each other so those shoulder blades stay spread apart, and this rolling out your upper back, your thoracic spine area. And if this feels like a strain on your neck, what you can do is reach behind your head, support your head, and really pinch your elbows together and just keep rolling that same area out there. And keeping your elbows pinched together, you can just slightly tip to one side so you have just a little bit more weight on one side than the other. And then slightly tip back the other direction. There you go, and then back to the center. All right, now what I'm going to have you do is roll your lat muscle out. So what I'm going to have you do is lay down on your side with that roller right in your armpit and this other hand extended so it's nice and relaxed. And you can bring this knee up and support yourself with your foot here. So what you want to do is only roll to the bottom of the chest. We don't want to roll onto the short ribs. So slightly leaning back, you're going to use that leg to push yourself up right to the bottom of your chest and then back down into your armpit. There you go. Remembering to keep this arm as relaxed as you can. If you need a little help rolling back and forth, you can use this hand on the roller to make that roller move for you where you need it to go. All right. And what I'm going to have you do is roll out your pec. So what you're going to do when you roll your pec is go from the crease in your shoulder over to the middle of your chest or your sternum, rolling from your collarbone down about halfway down your chest. So what you're going to do is use the opposite hand to place it on your pec muscle and then lean up against the wall. So you're pressing that tennis ball into your chest and then rolling back and forth along that muscle. And you can use the other hand to keep that ball in position and keep it moving all across that chest muscle there. And you can just move that ball all over that chest, making sure to hit all the areas from the shoulder to the sternum, from the collarbone down halfway down your chest. There you go. All right, now I'm going to have you take that tennis ball and put it right in between your shoulder blade and your spine. And then placing it there, I'll have you lean back against the wall. And whatever side that tennis ball is on your spine, so if it's on the left side of your spine, you're going to take your left arm and cross it in front of you and support it with your other arm. So you really open that shoulder blade up, and relaxing that arm, you're going to drop down and back up, letting the pressure get right on the ball and using that tennis ball to hit the area right in between your spine and your shoulder blade. You can use this technique all the way up and down your back. The one major rule is not to let the tennis ball get directly onto your spine. Remembering to find those little, you may feel them like speed bumps, where the ball is snapping over the top of a rope. And right when you feel you're about to fall off of one of those, let the direct pressure rest right on that rope and take some big, deep breaths.